there, you're welcome back to another episode of LR Talks. My name is Ajijolalua Adeni, but you can call me Jade. If this is your first time watching us, please do well to subscribe to our channel. And if this is not your first time watching us and you've not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Please hit the subscribe button as soon as you can. So with me in the studio today is my very beautiful guest who will be introducing herself to us in a jiffy. We're here to discuss on the topic modern parenting in Africa. I'm sure you're waiting to hear what we have for you. All the, stories from childhood, the thumb birthday party story. We talk about everything on this show. So get ready to learn a lot. So right about now, I'd like our guest to introduce herself to us. Good day, ma'am.
Right. Good day.
Please, would you introduce yourself to us?
All right. My name is Temitayo Adeshegun David. I'm a mother of 3 presently.
Mother of 3.
Presently.
Okay, so we have plans for more.
Don't say that.
All
I'm a
right.
mother of 3 presently. Then I'm homeschooling them.
Okay.
Yeah, that has been going on for maybe 5 years now.
All right.
5 years. Yeah, 5 years. And it has been a wonderful journey. Yeah, I'm also a wife. And I also love to create.
That's very nice. Thank you very much for being on this show. I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from you today. So I'd like us to kickstart the conversation from where you started. That you're a mother of 3. Sincerely, how has it been being a mom of 3 children, homeschooling them and all of that?
That's a deep question. Okay. For me, I would not say it's deep because it has been a wonderful journey, really. There was a time I was writing in my journal and I was describing motherhood. I said, of joy, of pain, of tears, of laughter. Like, it's a whole lot. Mixture of a lot of things. Like, you just look at yourself at times like, what's happening here? Like, what am I doing here? And you're like, can I go another day? Like, yeah, it can be like that. But sometimes you just want to go all the way. Because the joy, my kids will just do some things at times and be like, wow, that was serious. Like, seriously, the aspect of, it's something that maybe you are not expecting them to say.
Yeah.
Like, where's that one coming from? Like, just thinking about it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things like that we face every day. But I will not say it's that easy. Everything's just easy. But I think the mindset from the beginning we really go a long way.
So it's a journey of mixed feelings and, all of that.
That's true.
But you look very happy. And
Yes.
It's not, I feel like you see some mothers that it's written all over them that if you didn't say you were a mother of 3, it would be very difficult to tell that you're a mother of 3. So basically, I wanted to ask something initially before you mentioned that. I wanted to ask, what exactly is parenting to you? I want to believe that parenting has a different meaning to different people. Some people would believe that parenting is, raising a future doctor. Some people would see parenting as raising someone who would make impacts. Parenting could be different things to different people. So what exactly is parenting to you?
Okay. For me.
Yes.
I mean, we have to use that one because we have different goals.
Yes.
For me, parenting is nurturing an entity or entities for God. Like, when you are just like in charge, like the Lord has given you, okay, stewardship, like take this child. Just let me raise this child and I will pay your wages. I got that one from the scriptures. It jumped at me at a point and it really helped me. Like, okay, so the whole essence of parenting for me is being able to raise like saviors because the word is waiting for them. So the Lord is just giving you some people, raise them,
take care of them
and send them out.
I remember that on one of our previous episodes, we briefly talked about the issue of parenting and our guests spoke about the fact that parenting is stewardship. God has just, put these kids in your hand and he's going to ask you. And I remember one of the things they said was they do not focus on temporal things. They focus on things that are eternal because they will give accounts. And
that's true.
They would not want to get before God and not have something good to say about. By the time God asked them, how did you raise the ones I gave to you and all of that? And I remember then we established the fact that, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. That means it's not a maybe thing. Even if he wants to peep on the outside world, see what it looks like and all of that. Because you have trained that child in the way he should go, he's still going to come back to that place. Now, this could be in two ways. Okay. Training the child in the way he should go could be you training the child in the right way. And I would say that the right way is relative to individuals. Because some people could... Okay, let me use a practical example. You raise your children, when someone hits you, don't retaliate. But someone else tells their children, when someone hits you, make sure you do your own back to that person. To that person, it's probably right to make them know that you're not supposed to be treated anyhow.
That's true.
That's one point of view. And then there's the other point of view that says, no, you don't need to retaliate. Just let it go, let it be. I remember seeing a movie very recently. And in the movie, the two children were playing by the side of the river, throwing stones into the river. And then one of them saw a coin on the floor and picked it up. And as soon as she picked it up, the other one snatched it from her and immediately went to his dad. And then her dad just looked at her from where he was standing and told her to come towards him. You don't need to fight or get violent or anything like that. But some parents do not understand that. And that was why I initially had to ask, what is parenting to you? So moving on very quickly, I want us to talk about balancing discipline and freedom. This discipline issue is a lot on its own. And there's the freedom aspect. When I was in my introduction, I mentioned the Tom birthday party story. I'm sure that at least 90% of Nigerian kids heard the story of the birthday party where some children attended and the mother was watching the uniform and saw the birthday gift had turned to a finger and all of that. But the main goal of the story was to make us know that when someone gives you something, bring it home. Let me see it first. There's the part of being disciplined. Don't eat it. Bring it home. Let me see it first. But then there's some... I believe that some people you should be able to trust your children with. Give them a free hand. When Auntie Tola gives you something, you're free to go ahead and we go to Auntie Tola's house and Auntie Tola asks you... We faced a lot growing up. Will you eat? And you look at your mommy's face and look at the person's face and you're like, oh no, if I eat this food, I'm gone. So I wanted to talk about balancing raising disciplined children and still giving them, freedom in... That's just...
Starting from that place of collecting something, I think I was discussing with one of my sisters recently. I was saying, this thing is, where are we coming from? Like, don't take something. Sometimes for us parents, we have to dig deeper into our hearts. Is it out of distrust? One. Is it out of fear? Or let me say unnecessary fear. Then number two is it just to discipline the child and make sure that you are able to pass across that value that you have to be self-disciplined? So which one? Like, we have to really dig deeper, because sometimes we do some things and we think our kids, they don't understand. They do. You don't have to say everything. If it's out of distrust, they will get it. And before you know it, some of these kids, they grow up later and they don't even know how to receive love. Like, because over the years, you've taught them to not collect something. They don't collect. They can give, but they don't collect. But later down the line, they will feel that there's something wrong because they don't know how to even collect, to take. They just always want to give. That's because sometimes they don't really trust. They don't want to give. They give, but they don't want to receive because they don't trust. Because that was the motive of the mother or the father. Then, out of fear, unnecessary fear, we are just like, what if, what if, what if, and the kid, those children, they will get what you are trying to do, and before you know it, they will grow up to be fearful. They don't want to open up their heart to people. It started from don't take sweets because of fear, and you pass it across to them, and the fear stuck to them, and we're just like, okay, I don't want to open my heart because there's a fear somewhere there. Because the fear of evil people, life is hard, though, all those things. Yes, life is hard. I'm not saying life is not, but we have to balance it. But if it's out of discipline, like you have to be well disciplined and well cultured, like just bring the thing home, and I will know what to do about it. That one they will get it. That one is going to be, you will see that you'll be more relaxed. And if they make the mistake one time, like, okay, they ate it, you will not be too agitated. Like, see, hey, don't even come near me. I will beat you today. Because if it's out of fear already, you're like, hey,
We happen to
hope,
the child
hope.
and
So
things
that
like
means
that.
you just pass that aggression to the
A
child.
child.
And the child will be like, no be sweet. So the child will be like, what's happening here? And your reaction, it will stick to the child. I'm like, what is happening here? So before you know it, they might mellow and be like, okay, we don't. But they've gotten something
They
else
instilled something in them.
unknowingly. But you might not even know that. But if it's out of, okay, you have to be disciplined, you see that you'll be more relaxed. I'm like, well, I told you, next time you will repeat it again. Don't do it. Or else, okay, you might have consequences. But you will see that you'll be more at rest. Because it's not out of fear or out of maybe mistrust, but you just feel like you are just relaxed. I'm like, you will get it. Because it happened to my first child. I was, okay, Amos, you know what? Don't collect things. When he was still young, don't collect things from people and eat it. Come and show me first. My papa will just eat it. Like, I will see it. Maybe I'm inside the same circle with him at that point. I will not even say anything. You don't have to say anything. But again, when we get home, I saw you. You were eating something. So, but I told you this. I told you we'll go by it again. And all of a sudden, he adjusted. But I was not agitated. I was not agitated. Because why? I trust the people I'm with.
Yes.
And I don't want to give him any reason to not trust them also.
Yeah.
I love them and I want my boy to love them too. So it's not about being afraid. So I like, because of this. So before you know it, he got it. And we're fine. Now, there was a day they called me from Ibadan. That Amos will not take the coke they have given him. Like, he said he should call his mom. I'm like, Amos, please take the coke. Take it. Like, and he did. And they were like, okay. But it was not because of fear or something.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen once.
I think the thing here is energy is contagious. Because even if you're not saying it to them straight up that it's because I'm scared that something bad will happen to you when you eat it.
You get it.
They would contract that energy from you.
That's true.
And I think, on one of our episodes, that's effect of childhood on adult relationships, we talked about the fact that some people grow up to have trust issues. And like you said, it starts from these very little things. We gave a practical example that day. The environment I found myself now in school and all, I am in an environment where everybody says, I love you so freely. It's like, it's just normal. It's like saying hello to any random person. But then there are people who cannot cope in this environment because the moment you say I love you to them, they're thinking, what do you want? Just say what you want. And really, it's not about you wanting to get something from them. It's really just about you wanting to share the love with them, but they do not know how to accept love. And it's one of the things that really, really affects children when they eventually become adults and all of that. This session is very insightful, I must say. So very quickly, I'd also like us to talk about academics and extracurricular activities, the balance. Now, this part, I feel is going to be very interesting because you said that you're homeschooling your 3 kids and that must be a lot of work because
say that again.
a whole lot of work because there's the academic part of their life, and then there still has to be the place of, having fun,
Yeah.
doing other things aside academics and all of that. I know I used to tell people that by the time I grew up in my house, we're going to have a basketball court, we're going to have this court, just to make sure that the kids have a balanced life.
Mm.
I know many people in this generation grew up in a place where they're getting side children. You go to school, from school back home probably church, come back home.
Assignments.
Once they are saying the grace of Lord Jesus Christ, you're already at the gate of your house. It's there's really not much outside
Yeah.
the house. You don't go to birthday parties, you don't play any games, you don't do sports and all of those things. So how do you think parents can strike the balance between, making their children have a very healthy academic life, but at the same time making sure that in the social world, in the sports setting, in different aspects of life, because there's way too much to life than just this
Yeah.
academic thing. Not every child will become a medical doctor.
That's true.
Not every child will become an engineer.
That's
Some
true.
of them will eventually become footballers.
Mm.
Some of them will eventually go into the business world and all
That's
that.
true.
So how do parents strike the balance?
Okay. Okay, maybe while they are still growing up, the early stage is a bit yeah, is a bit still easy. Yeah, it's easy because maybe growing up, the major thing a child should do at the early stage is to play. I think most of the time we force them into adulthood. Like they just want, yeah, you have to do this. Yeah, and some people are doing assignment, they are crying there, the kid is crying. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that before. And you have to write this, so you are going to write it. Like, the boy is crying and writing it at the same time. Like, there can be another way out. Like already the boy has attached learning to pain. Like it's going to be difficult. Like whereas it's you not finding a way to make it fun for the boy or for the girl. Before you know it, make it fun and it will even catch up even quickly, and you'll be surprised because kids they learn by most of the time by playing. To them, playing is we call it playing, but they are not playing as far as they know. They are just living their life.
Mm.
So most of the time, you can see them playing, but you see that they are saying something to themselves. I'm playing with my car. Oh, this guy is passing this place, and before you know it, the boy is also using, or the girl is also using, his or her brain, trying to connect dots. Like you just feel that sometimes okay, they just smash something. Like why do you want to destroy it? For the boy, for the girl, it's like
I just want to
I
see
just
what
want
will
to
happen.
hear the sand. I want the
Mm.
sand. This thing. But we feel like you've destroyed everything in this house. And most of the time, the play for them is the learning. But when we come too early and we separate learning from playing, they become confused. So when we now say, we want to go and learn, be like, again. But if you can match the two, the playing is also the learning. So let's learn and play at the
At
same
the
time.
same time.
We are doing everything together. At the early stage, it's still very, very, very easy to do that. Like before you know it, they will now love to learn. And before you know it, when it now comes to higher things, maybe learning higher things, they will not be fearful and are scared of learning. And they will, because you merge it together when they were still growing, when they were still in the mood of, I want to play. I said, you want to play? Let's do this. Then you go, okay, 1, 2, 3, we are playing. You are still playing.
Yes.
Alphabet, we are still playing.
Yeah.
You are not separating the two. They will get it.
I know my big mommy has like a primary school and all. And then once in a while when I go visiting and I see her she specifically goes to some of the classes and this sandboxes thing and she's like, okay, write 1, and she's like, write 2. Not many people have that patience. I think it still comes down to patience. Some parents, and it's still parenting because some parents train them that way. And like I said, energy is contagious because their parent was impatient. They become impatient. They cannot calm down with their children. And then the children to become impatient. So parenting, I feel parenting is a very delicate matter because it's something that keeps going. It keeps going on and on and on into the coming generation and all of that.
That's true.
Thank you very much
You're
for that.
welcome.
So moving on, I'd like us to have a quick question and answer
Yes, sir.
session
All right.
with realistic questions.
No problem.
that, I feel our audience at home will be able to relate with and that you'll be able to relate with. So the first question here says, would you pick flogging as a corrective measure in parenting or not? Please support your answer with a reason.
Hmm. That's very massive, I mean, deep question you are asking. Recently, I will answer your question came from my own experience. But recently, I was thinking, this issue of people have different opinion. You don't flog a child. So when you say, we flog. This way, we have different ways of looking at them. Like, okay, let me look at this thing. Okay, well, the Bible said, okay, we should use the rod. We should
Yeah.
not spare the rod. So I was just trying to dig deeper. Okay, the rod is it cane? Is it physical cane? I was just neutral. I wanted to really know what was really happening. So, but maybe from my own experience, maybe training my children, I don't flog like bah, bah, bah. No, no, no. Like within minutes you've done 3 rounds or flogging, no. But if I know that flogging will solve the problem, I will go that route. I will go that route. But because sometimes it's not everything that flogging will do, but because we're just at that point where we're disappointed or we're hungry and we just want to just do something. And before we know it, we'll just be the children and it will not go down well because they will not even remember what they did wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen that because if you now call them, okay, what did you do? You're like, I don't know.
I don't know what I did.
I don't
Oh,
know.
God.
I'm like, wow. So, but sometimes it's just out of the pain.
Yeah.
We are just aggressive and everything. But if you can calm down, sometimes dialogue will work. Some things that you don't have to flog. It's not everything you flog a child. From my own experience, I don't flog them for everything.
Yeah.
And when I begin to say that I feel like flogging them for everything, I need a break. Yeah, that's one of this. Let me use the word symptoms or the signs that we know that you have to go on a break because it's as if you are stretched already and you are a bit like everything is just irritating you.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but when it's like okay, real life, I'm calm. I don't flog them on
All
every
the
instance.
time.
But if I know that one will be the solution, then I go that route. But if not, but even if I want to, we force dialogue. Okay, this is what happened. I told you the other time that if you do this, this is what will happen. And now so we are going to achieve that now. Then we will do that, then we'll pray.
Oh my God. So you'd have a conversation, do the flogging, then we'll pray afterwards. Oh my goodness.
So,
I like your pattern of parenting. I like your parenting style. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. Okay, so would you prefer your parents' method of parenting for your kids?
okay, not every part of it.
Mm.
Not every part of it. But my parents, yeah, they did their best because our parents, they did what they knew at that time,
At the
and it was out
time.
of love, really. So, I will not adopt everything, really. I will not make use of every method, but I will take some that I have
Part
seen
of
that
it.
it's worked for me.
Yeah. And would you like to give us an example of what you take from your
Okay.
parents?
Okay, for example, now, my mom, for example, this was stuck to me, my brain. If my mommy is waking you up in the morning and you are not answering, the first time, the second time, maybe you sleep back to sleep.
5 more minutes.
Before you know it, the next time she's coming, you will, you will not like it.
Mm.
And when we would do that, that thing just kind of affected me. I'm like, but why? I didn't know when I slept back now. Like, it's really, I'm like, for years, I was like, but why now? So, for example, that one, I'm like, I can look for other means when I know that the child is not conscious, like here, because I was sleeping. And I didn't even know when I slept back. So if I was not careful, I would say that's wickedness. But for her, it's like, I came the first time, I came the second time.
Time.
This is the third time. You have to stand up. So, and it's for my own good. You don't have to be late to school.
To school.
But for me, like, what's now? for example, that one I will be able to look at it in the angle of, okay, that was what she knew, but I will look at it from my own angle that, okay, I will not do such thing to my child.
Your
Like, I will
children.
see that, okay, they have to be conscious before I can discipline them.
Mm,
Yeah, so that they will be able to process it better.
better. I am very, very, very in love with your parenting style. I'm very in love with it. So next question here says, would you tolerate tantrums in public or not?
Truthfully, that thing can be embarrassing. Like, when your child is just throwing himself down, like outside. Some kids go to another lens that,
Mm.
if it's me, go back when we get back home. If my child goes to that extent, I watch some videos, I'm like, this is another thing entirely. I'm like, see, when you get back home, you are going to be, be, be properly aligned. Because that was extreme. But it doesn't have to get to that place. But for me, I will not take it. Because we will not even get to that place. I will not allow you to get to that place. But if it's in the in-house, like, okay, I can be looking at you, just enter a room, like maybe you're hungry, just enter a room. I will call you back. Next time, don't do that. Don't. Let's talk about it. What is happening? Let's talk. So I would not take that, because I will not even allow you to get to that place.
That point. That's very interesting. And then the last question here says, would you allow screen time for your kids or not? This
Yes, I
one is
will. I
very,
will.
I don't know. It's a lot
Yeah.
because many people in this generation grew up not having a lot of screen time.
Mm.
And even now, we still have our parents saying, is that what you've been pressing since morning? That's the reason why you have not done anything in this house and all of that. So, what is your opinion on screen time?
Okay, my own opinion is just for me to be able to control it, because
Mm.
there's no way, like, all these things they've come to stay. And they have to also get used to it, because now even your kids, they know what to press that you don't even know on your phone,
Yes.
and they know it's better. Even you that you are using it 24/7, you don't know some things. And my Bible, like, let me teach you, like, leave it, I will do it. Like, you know. So I will, yes, I will take that. Screen time is something that we can't negotiate again. But it's
Yeah.
just about being able to regulate it,
Control
because
it.
they will be able to learn a lot of things. There are a lot of resources out there. Like,
Yeah.
they just have to also learn from.
Learn from them.
Yeah.
So finally, before we go, I'd like us to discuss self-care for parents. Because I said something when we started that if you didn't mention that you're a mom of three, it is not so obvious. We will not be able to tell
Yeah,
by first looking at you that you're a mother of three. And this is because you've probably been taking care of yourself
that's true.
as much as you've been taking care of the kids.
That's
So
true.
for parents out there, what is your, you know, take on self-care? Because like I said, some people when they just give birth and when they just have their kids, it's written all over them that okay, this one just had a baby.
Hmm, that's
You
true.
know that this one just had
Happy baby.
a baby. So what do you have to say to parents out there on the issue of self-care,
Okay.
even while they are taking care of their children? Some parents do a very good job taking care of their children. But you know, when you look at them, you're like, there's something wrong somewhere. If your children are looking this good and you're not looking just as good
Good idea.
as your children are looking.
Okay. It's something that I used to tell people. I will encourage and encourage, because I see that people don't really want to take the time out. It's not that they don't want to, but they are like, hey, it's not visible, I have to think about this. I'm like, see, you will not go on this vacation. You will not take this break. It will not come to you. You just have to. You have to chase it as if you are chasing. When Bible say follow peace. Like, yes, myself and my husband, we do a lot of taking our time, even if not for yourself alone, for your partner, because when kids begin to arrive, and the time will be shorter with your partner
Partner.
if you are not careful,
Careful.
then you have to begin to fight for. We have to have this time. Sometimes we go as far as sending the kids to our grandparents. No, not in this city. Like, we will charter a car to go and drop them
So you not even go with them.
Sometimes I don't follow them, really. Sometimes I don't. In fact, most of the time I don't follow them.
Wow.
Because even the I'm like, I don't want to even stress myself. But but most of the somebody is with them. Like maybe someone that will take care of them there. Just go, drop them there. Then myself and my husband, we have time. Then I will also have time for myself. So we don't sit down and allow the time to come to us. So if I have to be alive and to be there for them, then I have to have breaks. Or else I can be worn out, and as I said, you just want to flog every time. As if I just want to. I can't wait. When I begin to feel like that, I'm like, oh,
opportunity.
Every opportunity. Let me know. I have to have a break now, and it's going to be now. It's not about whether I will look for the time will come. I have to look for it. It's because it will not come to you. I used to encourage parents like, okay, you said you're going to on that break. Say we will still go. I'm like, this time will not come to you. You just have to go and grab it.
But I feel some parents are probably scared and insecure because imagine you've been training your child in doing a certain thing and then because you want to take a break, you probably take for example, let's use a practical example of probably teaching your child how to use the potty or something, and like you have 3 kids, maybe the last born now. You're just teaching the child how to use the potty and all of that. And then it just comes to that period where you need a break. Like you really do need that break. And so you have to stop the potty training, let the child go to wherever they're going to go to, and then they come back and you have to start from square one. So how, because I feel that parents would have a lot of reasons for not wanting to take breaks at certain times. Although I used to say that if you look for reasons, you'll always find reasons not to do things. But what would you advise parents in such position to do?
Okay, so to clarify things, I will always say, I don't drop my kids with just anybody. That's it. Like I would know that maybe I've seen you, I've seen you the way you handle your things, the way you love the kids unconditionally. Those are the criteria I look for. Before I can drop my kid with you, I will look at your values, how you've related with them when we're together, and see the way you handle children. Not everybody can handle children. So how you handle them, and I want to see, and maybe I've seen that, okay, even your spiritual state is okay, like also you can answer their questions correctly and not just twist the Bible for them. So I will look at a lot of things, but immediately I can trust you. And there's a witness in my spirit. See, I can leave kids with you for 3 weeks. I'm not exaggerating.
Wow.
Because I've learned that parenting is something you have to do from rest. Yes, you can't love your child more than God loves the child. Yeah, I've learned that early. The Lord had to teach me that, see, I love them more than you do. I love them more than you do. He told me, said, they belong to me, spirit, soul, and body. So immediately I can trust and I see that, okay, there's nothing that maybe I'm not having any second thoughts. I can, because I believe that you will also pass across some things to them that I might not be able to. So I see it as a learning curve. There was a point that I was like, I just feel, for example, my firstborn can go to my in-law's place. I don't mind, 6 months. And it's not because of break now. I'm like, for him, I've seen their values. Like, let them also impart in with 1 or 2 things that I've seen. I've seen them live their life all these years. I'm like, I love this. Because when the child comes back, I'm like, you begin to see some things like, wow, who taught you? Grandma taught me this. Who taught you? Grandpa said this. And you are like, wow, then you can go for a longer period so that we also can breathe. Then you also can learn. So that's because it's just from the place of rest. Maybe because I really see parenting like, it's not about how much I do, but I go to the extra mile anyway. But it's not even about that. I believe that God is the one training the children. So maybe because I have that one. So, and I used to pass that because you have to learn this also. Will I not cry? If it's the first time we are parting like that, maybe the child has not really been out of my circle for a long time. Maybe that's the first time. I might cry the first day, the second day, and I'll be fine.
So parents cry. Oh my gosh.
And I'll be fine. And before you know it, and the kids will just be listening to them on phone. They are just enjoying themselves. But
Yes.
if I can sense any, maybe like maybe the way they are talking, I'm like, okay, maybe I should just go.
And pick
But I've
them
not really
up
had any reason to do that.
to that.
So it's because maybe I have people around that I trust. That's what we should pray for. Parenting is something that you can't do alone. That's in fact, we didn't talk about that. The African mentality. The parenting style they also have is they have communal parenting. You don't
Parenting
parent your child alone.
alone. Yes.
Yes. And it's a very good thing. We don't have to throw away. We don't
Mm.
have to. So for self-care, I think I do that a lot. A lot. Anytime I'm beginning to get irritated, just find a way to have a break. Sometimes if it's not possible to have maybe 1 week, I can start with 1 day, 2 days, or maybe 6 hours. Just go somewhere else. The child will be with someone I trust. So you have to pray that the Lord will send you human resources. That apart from money,
Gift of
yes,
men.
gift of men. That's part of what will make the whole thing. And you just be like, you are just enjoying the whole ride.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much for that, ma'am.
Welcome.
So I hope you learned a lot from today's session. But before we go,
Okay.
I don't know if there's any other thing you'd like to say to our audience at home, to intending parents, to young adults who will soon become parents, to parents already.
So I think the major thing that came to my heart is this. For people that are not parents already, they're not parents yet. Make sure you surround yourself with people that you can trust. Yes. That thing we said just now, communal parenting, is a very good thing. Make sure as you are growing in your finances, growing in other areas of your life, growing in healthy relationship with other people, like that you can so trust. You can see their life, you can see your own life that, oh, I think we are okay together. Like begin to nurture the relationship. Make sure that you have relationships around you. It will be a kind of support system. Yes, for you. That's the only thing that is coming to my heart to really say.
Building relationships that will be of great help.
Even when you can get to that place. Older women, even younger people. Like, so that you know that, oh, these people, I trust them. Begin to cultivate the relationship. Before you know it, you're able to say, I'm not the only parent of this child. You can also discipline because you've seen the life of the person that you can do it.
Thank you very, very much for being on the show with me. I
welcome.
really enjoyed myself. And I'm sure that our audience at home did too. If you're an intending parent, if you're a young adult who doesn't intend to become a parent anytime soon, but you still become a parent someday, build relationships that will help you parent very easily. Anyways, I'll see you on the next episode of LR Talks. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share to 1 or 2 parents. And if you'd like to share one story or another from your childhood with us, please do well to drop it in the comment section. My name remains Jade. Bye.